So if you need to learn pretty much anything online, you can just go to Google and go to YouTube, type in your question and then find the answer. Seriously, there is so much information online these days that you might be wondering, why are there also so many people who are selling online courses? If there's all this free information, then why do I need to pay for an online course? And if you're thinking that, then you are absolutely right. It's a very good question. And a lot of the time, the information that you can buy in an online course can also be found if you search for it online. So then that begs the question, why buy an online course if there's all this free information? Now, before I answer that question, I know some of you might be thinking, but wait a second, Ash, don't you sell an online course? So isn't this video going to be a little bit biased towards selling online courses? Well, in response to that question, I just want to answer it with 2 points. Number one, I don't actually sell an online course. I have an online course, but I don't actually sell an online course. And I'll explain the difference and why this is at the end of this video. And number two, which might surprise you, but in a lot of cases, I don't always think that buying an online course is the best option for you. It really depends on your circumstances. So that's what I want to go through in this video. When does it make sense to buy an online course? And when is it better just to get the free information online on YouTube and on Google? So first, let's think about when is it a good idea to actually buy an online course? And then I'll go through when is it a bad idea to do that. But first, let's start with when is it a good idea? So I think it's a good idea to buy an online course if you want to get faster results and avoid making mistakes. Now, yes, you can find a lot of the same information that you find in online courses. You can also find that if you search on Google and YouTube. But there's a problem with that. The problem is that there is so much information online, and I'll give you a perfect example. In 2019, when I was looking to grow my YouTube channel, at the time I only had a few hundred subscribers. So I was watching videos and going on Google and trying to figure out, okay, how do I grow my YouTube channel? And when I started to do this research, there was a lot of content about how to grow your YouTube channel. And there was a lot of good videos and a lot of helpful videos on how to do that as well. But the problem was that there was so much information that a lot of the time I didn't even know where to start. I didn't know which videos were the actual valuable videos, the good ones with really good helpful information. And sometimes there were some really good videos that would actually contradict each other. So how do you know which video to follow or which advice to follow? So that is a bit of a problem. And yes, through trial and error, you could still watch the videos, do more research, and you can kind of figure out and get towards a more direct answer as to which is the best option to choose or which advice is the best advice to follow. But I didn't really have time for that. I wanted to just get the quickest results and also make the most minimum amount of mistakes. Now, making mistakes is unavoidable. Everyone is always going to make mistakes when you do anything. It's just a part of running a business. But if you can minimize the amount of mistakes that you can make, then that's always a good thing. It does mean you'll save some time. So what did I do in order to get faster results and minimize the mistakes? Well, what I did is I decided to find a YouTube channel that I like and that I follow that had already achieved the result that I want to get. Because if I can find a YouTube channel that has already got the result that I want to get, and if that YouTube channel also has an online course, then I can just purchase that course and just get a little bit of a shortcut and just follow exactly what it is that they say. So that's exactly what I did. One of the YouTube channels that I follow, which is Graham Stephan, he has a YouTube channel on personal finance and investments and things like that. And he's also built up a very successful YouTube channel with over 2 million subscribers. And one of the things that he does is he does have an online course on how to grow your own YouTube channel. So rather than me spending lots of time researching all the different people to follow, all the different videos to watch, all the different things that I might have to or not have to do, I just purchased his course and then followed what his course teaches. And then in about a year, I went from a few hundred subscribers to 1,000 subscribers. Now, I know 1,000 subscribers isn't a huge amount, especially compared to other YouTube channels out there, but it is progress. And when I first started my YouTube channel, it took me years just to get to a few hundred subscribers. So it took me years to get to a few hundred subscribers, and then in just a year, I got to 1,000 subscribers. So you can really see how much quicker I was able to get results simply by following what I was learning in that YouTube course. Now, yes, a lot of the information in that YouTube course that I purchased, I could have also found that same information online. But there was also some things in that YouTube course that I didn't even know that I would have to look for it. So there were certain things in there that I wouldn't have thought to Google this or to search for this on YouTube, but it was still in there. And then that made sure that I didn't miss anything or make, again, any mistakes. So yes, I could have got all the free information and I could have still got the same result, but it probably would have taken me more time to do that. So for me, just to be able to save that time, I could definitely see the value in purchasing an online course to help me do that. But don't get me wrong, there are a lot of times when I think buying an online course is not a good idea. And instead, I think it would be better for you to get free information online and just stick to free information rather than buying an online course. So when would that be? When would it be good to not purchase an online course and just get free information only? Well, I think if you are at a stage in your life or in your business where money is tight right now and you don't have a lot of money to invest into additional ways to grow your business right now, maybe you're just starting up a new business, or maybe you're pretty young and you're just starting a new business for the first time, and funds are really tight right now. In that situation, I don't think it's a good idea to start spending money that you might not necessarily have on online learning or courses or programs like that. Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this thing, especially if these people are selling an online course, because some people will say, no, you should just buy an online course no matter what. Even if this is your last $1,000, just spend it on an online course and you'll start getting some great results. But I disagree with that. I think that in the beginning, it's good to keep your expenses to a very minimum. And in the beginning, just get all the free information that you can possibly get online through YouTube and Google. Grow your business to a certain point where now spending a few $1,000s on some training or courses or something to get you to the next level isn't going to be a huge expense. And that way you can invest in your business without spending all of your money. You can just invest a small amount of your money into growing your business and taking everything to the next level. And then that will be, in my opinion, a much wiser use of your funds. And that's when it would be a good time to buy some sort of online course or something like that. Now, the second reason why buying an online course might not be the best thing for you to do in your business right now is because information alone isn't enough to get you results. At least in most cases, it's not going to be enough, because information without implementation means it doesn't matter how much you learn, but if you don't implement what you're learning in the right way, you're never going to get any results. You have to implement or take action on what you're learning, and you have to do it in the right way. Now, the problem with buying an online course is that very often online courses do not have support and guidance to help you implement what you're learning in the right way. Now, if an online course does have support, then that's great, that's perfect. But what I'm talking about is just online courses on its own, where there is no support, where there is no consulting. So for example, using that YouTube course that I bought, if I had a lot of questions, or if I wanted Graham to have a look at my videos and review them and tell me what to do to improve and all that kind of stuff, I'm not going to get access to that. I can't get access to that with this online course. Now, in my particular case, I didn't really feel that I needed that support, but in your case, it might be different. In your case, you might actually need help with implementing what you're learning. And very often when I speak to potential clients on the phone, and they tell me they've bought other online courses in the past to help them generate leads and appointments and win clients online and all that kind of stuff, very often they say that the reason they think they didn't get results from the previous course is because they just didn't know if what they were doing or what they were learning from the course was actually the right thing. Because you could spend all day learning and you could spend all day trying to implement something, but if you are not implementing it in the right way, it's just not going to work. So it's kind of like trying to learn how to drive a car. You could read all the information online about driving a car. You could watch YouTube videos on how to drive a car. But at the end of the day, if you don't actually get in a car and then start driving with an instructor, someone to actually guide you and help you and give you real-time feedback and suggestions on what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong so that you can then improve, it's going to be very difficult to get any results. And it's the same thing with information. You can consume all the information online and you can even pay for courses, but if you don't know how to implement what you're learning in the right way, it's going to be very difficult to get any results. But like I said, most online courses just give you the information on its own with no support. And like I said, information on its own very often just isn't enough to actually get results. So remember when I said earlier that I have my own online course, but I don't actually sell an online course? Well, that's because the online course that I have for my clients, which is basically pre-recorded videos and templates to show them step by step what they need to do to generate predictable leads and appointments every single month with their ideal clients. I have step-by-step videos and instructions and templates on how they can do that. But I know that information on its own isn't going to get them results, because if they just followed what they learned in the video, they still might make mistakes. In fact, they still will probably make mistakes. So that's why what I really offer, rather than just an online course, what I'm really offering is consulting services. So what that means is when they follow the videos and the instructions and take the templates that I've given them to save them time, they then send me their work. They send me what they do, and then I can check it, give them feedback, suggestions, and things like that on how to actually improve. So really what they're paying for is consulting, not really an online course. The online course is just part of the consulting, because rather than me repeating myself to every single client, this is what you need to do. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do that. Rather than me doing that again and again and again with every client, I can just record it once, get clients to follow those videos. But then the personalized aspect of it, where they get that personal support and help, is when they send me their work and then they can get feedback on their work. And that's where I think there's a lot of value in some sort of training or consulting program. But remember, that is different to an online course. An online course on its own very often doesn't include support. So if you are thinking of buying an online course, just have a look and see first, do you get any support with this online course, or is it just information on its own? Because there's a lot of value in getting that personalized support so you can actually get help on what it is that you're learning to make sure you're implementing what you're learning in the right way. Because the way that you're going to get results is always through implementation. Okay, it's not the information, it's the implementation of information that is going to get you results. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about my online consultancy program and how it all works, then the best thing to do is just watch the free masterclass training that I've recorded, because that goes through step by step. It actually goes through 5 steps that you need to take if you want to get predictable leads and high quality appointments with your ideal clients every single month. So you can watch that video. We'll go through the strategy that you need to actually get results. And then if you need help with implementing this, if you need consultancy, and if you need me to actually check your work and guide you and help you and support you along the way, I go through at the end of that video how that actually works in a little bit more detail, so you can learn more about that as well if you're interested in that. So to check out that video, just go to salesappointmentsmasterclass.com. You can sign up to watch the video. It's completely free, and as soon as you sign up, you get instant access to the video and you can watch it straight away. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.